There's been a lot of news lately about Nintendo doing takedowns and lawsuits, and with the recent release of Tears of the Kingdom, we've been seeing more of Nintendo striking YouTube channels too. If you've been in the gaming space for a while now, you would know that this isn't anything new from Nintendo. They've been known for their strict copyright rules when it comes to emulation, modding, and content creation. It's so common now that nobody really bats an eye. Let's take a look back and talk about the many incidences where Nintendo has either harshly enforced their copyright or screwed over their audience. Wow, I love this song. I wonder where I can find the full version. What about YouTube? Oh. Nintendo in the late 2010s started to copyright strike and take down music and soundtracks from their games on YouTube. Some content creators reported that they received more than 500 copyright claims, which forced them to take down all videos that featured Nintendo's music. A channel by the name of Gilvasana received more than 1,300 copyright strikes. This impacted their channel so much that they pretty much had to shut down. Whether or not you believe that this is fair of Nintendo to do, you have to admit one thing. Around this time, if you want to listen to Nintendo music, YouTube channels were pretty much the only option. And to be honest, it still is. Look up official Nintendo music on YouTube and see how long it takes to find something from an official Nintendo channel. Nintendo also has a history of copyright claiming and striking walkthroughs and gameplay. The most recent example is of Point Crow, a YouTuber and streamer who has had about 20 of his videos taken down by Nintendo.
So, Nintendo has decided to take down my and other content creators' videos. I ask that you watch this whole video so you understand the entire situation, because it affects you and the content creators that you may support.
These videos were mainly modded Breath of the Wild content and Pokemon content, but strangely enough, one of them was just a regular gameplay videos from 3 years ago. All of this resulted in him getting 2 strikes on his channel, putting his livelihood at risk. At the recording of this video, the claims seem to still be on his channel and the videos are gone. He said that he just wants to move forward with no bad blood between him and Nintendo. This sucks, for a number of reasons. The big one being the lack of communication between Nintendo and YouTube, mainly regarding what to do next in the situation. Yes, Point Crow could have refuted the claims, but that could have led him to get another strike and terminate his channel, and that's just not fun. Speaking of fun, let's talk about
Is
this going to be a KO?
Are you going to take the stock right now, dude?
Randall
That's
coming
it.
out. Quick.
I'm freaking out, dude. Shine. Oh, that's it! Yarbana!
Bring this the last
We
dog.
are entering the clutch box zone.
Oh no.
Could it be Mango drifting all the way left, preventing the shield grab from happening? He has to play so safe. He's got it.
The taunt.
Mango evens it up.
We're not getting a 4-stock, are we? Leffen, are you going to go out like this? And the crowd cheering for a 4-stock. This could be it. This is it! Oh! The 4-stock! Is this man the truth?
Super Smash Bros. Melee is one of the greatest fighting games of all time. Even 20 years after its release, it is still played in tournaments. Though the popularity is still high, Nintendo doesn't like to admit it. On multiple occasions, not only have they tried to shut down Melee tournaments, but they have distanced themselves from the community in general. In 2020, the Big House Melee tournament received a cease and desist from Nintendo because they were using Slippy. Slippy, for those that don't know, is a launcher that you can use to play online matches on emulated copies of Melee. Nintendo didn't really like that because in their eyes, it's promoting piracy of their game, which doesn't really make much sense when you think about it, because not only do they not sell the game anymore, they don't support it in any way. In any official tournaments, in any official marketing, they just don't support the game.
Now, maybe the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs of this statement seem believable, but once you see the sentence "Nintendo cares about Super Smash Bros. Fans and its community very much," you know that it's all a crock of shit.
There's currently no way to play Melee unless you want to pay really high resale prices or emulate it. It's also important to consider that the tournament was during the pandemic, so they really couldn't play in person. The only option to do online was through Slippy. But hey, let's look on the bright side. 2 years later, Nintendo will partner with Panda Global to run officially licensed events. meaning no more shutdowns, no more DMCAs, and that's great, right? Well, no, the opposite actually. Panda started to threaten tournaments like Smash World Tour. Basically, if you didn't sign with Panda, they would talk to Nintendo and get you shut down. Allegedly. While Nintendo and Panda both deny this, a lot of tournament organizers that had their event shut down say otherwise. To clarify, most of this was due to the actions of Alan, the CEO, and not Panda as a whole, but after a few weeks of PR damage that was already done, Panda postponed their event, ended their relationship with Nintendo, and fired Alan as CEO. Also, side note about tournaments, Nintendo's Splatoon tournament had a grand prize of $25, a store credit, for the entire winning team, so that's not awesome. Similar to the Point Crow situation, they don't like people augmenting their games in any capacity. Gary Bowser was a member of a hacker group that made a mod that allowed you to play illegal copies of Switch games. He was sued and then sent to jail, but upon release he made a deal with Nintendo, that deal being that he'll have to pay up to 30% of his income for the rest of his life to Nintendo. Which, yeah, he did some bad stuff, but that's like a super villain level request, especially because he wasn't the only member in the group and he's the only one that has to pay the fees. Nintendo is usually against fan creations. Series like Mario, Pokemon, and Metroid are very famous, namely because of nostalgia. In these series, we see a lot of big hits and big misses, so much so that fans believe that they can do a better job than the people making actual games. Super Mario Royale was a project made by YouTuber and game developer Inferno Plus. The concept was basically, what if we made Mario into a battle royale? The day that the game released, it received instant success and popularity, but it didn't last too long. About 2 weeks after the release, Inferno Plus received an email from Nintendo telling him to take down the game. 1 year later in 2020 marked the 35th anniversary of the original Super Mario Bros. In celebration, Nintendo released Super Mario 3D All-Stars, a collection that included 3 iconic Mario games, Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, and Sunshine. Nintendo also announced a brand new game, Super Mario Bros. 35, a 35-player battle royale based off the original game. Interesting. While Inferno Plus doesn't believe that Nintendo stole his idea, you have to admit there are some similar ideas, and that timing is a bit shady. The Legend of Zelda: The Missing Link was a fan-made game that was also taken down by Nintendo. It was meant to fill in the story between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Even though the two games are connected, it's not really clear what happens in between the two. The Missing Link was supposed to fill that gap. In order to play Missing Link though, you would need a ROM of the original Ocarina of Time. How do you get this ROM? It's very simple. Either rip it from your N64 cartridge, which Nintendo doesn't really like, or you get it online, which Nintendo definitely doesn't like. Either way, the trailer for the game has been taken down and the project is scrapped. Okay, so far Nintendo doesn't like you playing their games on stream. They don't like you making videos about them. They don't like you making games based on their games. They don't like you emulating or modding their games. So what can we do? I hope that there's like a guideline to tell us what we can and cannot post. Oh wait, there is.
What types of content are acceptable under the guidelines? What types of content are not acceptable? We encourage you to use Nintendo game content in videos and images that feature your creative input and commentary. For example, Let's Play videos and video game reviews are within the scope of the guidelines. All of the videos that they have taken down are in compliance with their own policies. I use Nintendo game content in my videos, and they are all featuring my creative input and commentary throughout the duration of the medium. As per their decisions to take down gameplay and challenge videos alongside the modified content, it'll be difficult for any content creator to post creative concepts without having the fear of Nintendo exercising their copyright over a video that is in line with their own policies. In fact, what they've demonstrated here is that they will ignore their own policies and licenses to selectively enforce their intellectual property. So, if you've uploaded any video that features any Nintendo content, no matter how transformative or directly in line with their published guidelines, you are at risk.
We can still get copyright strikes or claims or any number of things just because Nintendo doesn't like it. Even if we do follow their rules, they can just do whatever they want, which sucks. Okay, this video is getting way too long, so I'm just gonna run down a few more weird things and just quickly touch on them. not addressing the drifting problems in Joy-Cons until they got sued, and now there's a free program, but newer models still have drifting issues, so that's not great. Adding Bluetooth to the Switch 5 years after it released and not at launch is kind of weird, especially because the Switch was already capable of doing it. Nintendo just kind of disabled it for some reason. Insane lack of quality control and glitchy games, especially when it comes to the Pokemon series. Nintendo Switch Online was bad at launch. Not only the service, but Nintendo's multiplayer in general. Smash Ultimate Online, Mario Maker Online are just horrible experiences. Not to mention the expansion pass has almost no use unless you want to play one Splatoon DLC. Oh, also, when Hyrule Warriors came out, Nintendo started to DMCA streamers that played it early, but it didn't come out early. It was just early in their time zone, so they're just DMCAing random people. I know this is a weird time in the video to say this, but I'm not a Nintendo hater. I love and respect what they've done for the industry, which is why I want to make this video in the first place. I just want them to do better. They make amazing games. Their systems aren't that powerful, but they don't need to be because they're fun. They're pretty creative and they've made a great community so far. I've had a Wii, a DSi, and a Switch, and I've had great experiences on all of them. I don't really know what they can do to stop people from supporting them, but it's really getting hard as a Nintendo fan to enjoy them while they're doing all of this nonsense. It's been a few weeks since the Tears of the Kingdom came out, and many people are saying it's one of the best games of all time, and I kind of believe it because Nintendo usually makes quality.